nothing matches the challenge which came along with pandemic COVID. And that was the acid test for all that SIS stood for, from top management to the guard who was called frontline worker. I think there was no single customer who ever faced problems where SIS was deployed. The SIS story, as you will read in coming weeks, is a tribute to that spirit, the spirit of interpersonal skill. How do you stand with people in distress? How do you stand with customers in distress, in difficulty, with employees? We have diversified in the last 50 years. SIS has digitized, has become a lot more professional, and professional has got a downside. You can't afford to have, professional can't afford to have emotions. But the way SIS has professionalized itself, the core has remained intact, the people. And that's the greatest tribute to this long journey, 50 years. We would like to touch upon R.K. Sinha ji, the values of our veterans who have been part of SIS in the last 50 years, and that has kept him going. Currently, he is not well. Otherwise, I think he would have been the proudest man. SIS is also a story of India's transformation, seen through the eyes of an organization that grew with the nation at every point in the last 50 years. Words cannot really justify or do justice with what I'm trying to say. I'll request Ishant to start an audio-visual script, which is far more electrifying, which will make a lot of impression on you. Ishant, AV clip, please.
50 years ago, it began with a single guard. A simple duty, a steadfast promise. An idea that grew into a vision. From securing gates with vigilance to managing facilities with innovation, that vision became a movement. From safeguarding people to moving the nation's cash with trust, that movement shaped lives, built trust and created a legacy. From traditional methods to next-gen AI-powered solutions, that legacy continues to grow. 50 years of transformation, resilience and growth. And today, that legacy unfolds before you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have an enjoyable evening. And no story is, unless you feel of it. I have been one who has been touched for almost 25 years. So have been a lot of customers, partners, and others. We will relive this story again when we meet and talk and have cocktail and dinner. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for doing the digital unveiling of the book. Now, I would request CFO Brijesh sir, Chief Operating Officer SIS Security Narayan Linka sir, and CEO DTSS Sanjeev sir to please come on the stage to do the physical unveiling of the book and for a quick fireside chat. Please unwrap the book. Now let's hear about the book from the people who have lived its story. We'll keep this as a free willing chat. So please try to answer it as honest as possible. Uh, we'll keep it as a mix of both Hindi and English. So my first question is to Brijesh sir. Sir, आपको ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि अभी जब 50 years हो गए हैं कंपनी के, it's the right time to publish a book on SIS?
Before I start giving the answer, let me tell me about myself. Out of this 50 years, I've been with SIS for more than 20 years. So some part I have already personally lived with in this journey. So 50 years is a very long period. For any, I don't think there are very few company who has a lifespan of such a long 50 year. There will be hardly some company has a real opportunity to have a 50-year journey. And this long 50-year journey, SIS has gone through many things. There have been many activity, many achievements, starting from the place of Bihar where the company started its business and becoming the fastest growing and number one security company of the country. Ultimately becoming the Indian MNC, about which we feel very proud of. Not only in security, the FM business, which started from scratch approximately 14-15 years back. Today we are the market leader in FM also, cash also we are within top 3. So all such things, information about all such things are available in a different platform, sometime in a newspaper or sometime in a social media or digital platform, or even in our annual reports. But we feel that it's appropriate that we compile all this information, all these facts in one place and come out in a book, the SIS Story. And that is how the SIS Story has come up. Why it is published now? Obviously, this year we are celebrating a 50-year from establishment. So we feel that there is no perfect time or right time or more auspicious occasion right, other than this to come out with this book.
Thank you, sir. My next question is to Linka sir. Yeah, please, a round of applause for Brijesh ji. Really, that was good emotions. Next question is to Linka sir. Sir, when you read the book, what did stuck to you?
Thank you, Ishanji. Good evening, everyone. The best part of the book, like today it is unavailable, but we have the manuscript, but the honesty it reflects. If you go through the book in period of the times, you will find out there is no sugar coating. Sugar coating in the sense like whatever that comes from the heart, and the people who are associated with this, and the people who lead this, and the people who live with this, they spoke from their heart. And there is the best part of this called as honesty. And when I say honesty, the people who are involved in this journey of 30 years, 50 years, I also a part of this company almost 32 years as a young graduate training officer in 1993. And most of the people who are there in the room, they have completed like 40 years also, like take the example of our CEO Binay sir. Then when I saw this book, I realized how SIS grow through this journey. We have transparent with the people. We have taken this opportunity to be open-minded dialogue with the people. And the journey is really fantastic. And the book itself, like when I say honesty, the people who are involved in this process, they have demonstrated at a point of time and many times. And the manuscript also has many emotions while you go through the books, because the books is full of experience of the people who are there in this company, who joined lateral also, and the many company who have associated with us by acquisition or merger, they also played a major part in this success story. And the manuscript itself has a great impact in the company as well as the society's large, what we did in last 50 years. And I strongly believe as an employee of SIS, it's not that I'm talking about the proudly, but same time as a human being or a society as a large, the books has a lot of impact in the young generation.
Thank you, sir. Now I come to Sanjeev, sir. Sir, SIS has not just shaped itself as a company, as an entity, but it has also shaped India's security industry, facility management, cash logistics. Do you want to reflect on that legacy, quote some experiences?
So before I reply to what Ishant was mentioning, sitting next to Brajesh ji and Lanka ji, I could see that, that eyes are getting a little bit moist over here, and that itself speaks about a lot of culture and a lot of attachment with the organization, and that can only be built with the, Dr. R.K. Sinha's and Chairman Saab's, touch and the vision which he has put and the values what he's inculcated. So it's really, what is emotional for me also to see over here. Now coming back, I have been associated with SIS now for almost the 10th year now. And my way of getting associated with SIS is as an outsider, getting acquired and then, joining the family over here. So it's a very, watching the culture which has been developed in the organization, working with the people around them. And it's been 3-4 years, continuously watching very in a minute way. And when you go back, I would say that, what's been the most, for me, the touching moment has been that in the book, it's been mentioned very clearly, way back in 1970s and, early 1980s. And from there on, when we talk about, security, which was never having any kind of a dignity or not getting recognized as an industry. It used to be a watchman kind of a thing. People put into some khaki uniform and no shoes, nothing like that. They would be sitting on that, and that was the expectations over there. But I think, Dr. R.K. Sinha was the one who actually found out that there is a vision, there is an opportunity for people to earn respect, earn dignity, and then he's put a lot of framework, worked very closely with government agencies. I would say that he was instrumental in forming an association, CAPC we call it as, and, was able to influence the government, state governments and central governments over there in trying to create some framework, build some training mechanisms, build some, regulations over there. And over a period of time, I would say that, slowly, by the time when we came to 90s and, when the outsourcing charm came out and multinational companies started coming into India, the real need of a security company came in over there. And here we have a visionary leader who has been preparing the Indian people over there to cater to the global demands. Now, from there on, I would say that, he's been very instrumental, and that's where I think Pasara was actually, he was instrumental in doing the Pasara over there, and that's where the framework and regulations came in place. While this is there, I would say that, that the succession pipeline or the leadership which came in the form of Mr. Rituraj also, I would say that, during that time, recently, during the time of, when the warlike situation happened in Pahalgam, during that time also, then he worked very closely with the Minister of Home Affairs, for central defense. And then, there was a need for internal security. So this was not only about SIS talking about an organization which wanted to grow. It is about how do we actually meet the nation's vision? How do we support the security needs of the country. So it was not limited to the company growth or organizational growth, but it was creating an ecosystem where, the dignity, the training, and like Uday sir was mentioning about, 3 lakh people, which feeds to, 3 lakh families, which was there. So this is a big vision, which I would say that SIS is catering to. So it's not business, but it is actually contributing to the nation.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Now again, I come back to Brijesh, sir. Sir, as the book talks about SIS unique training culture and the use of technology in the business, you have spent 20 years with the company. How do you see all this shaping the company's future?
Well, that's a very important point. Whenever we talk about a success story, we used to talk about a personal contribution, but we tend to forget what are the other factors which has resulted in achieving that success. So I can say technology and training both has been a strong pillar on which SIS is built. If we talk about training, the story will begin in 1974 itself, when our founder chairman, Mr. R.K. Sena, has realized that training is essential for transformation of private security agency. And he personally designed the first SIS curriculum, which not only talks about discipline and physical outfit, but also talks about integrity, value of services we do for the customers, and many other things. The most important thing, the pride in wearing the uniform. He also took one bold step at that time by setting up one of the largest training academy, which I think today also the training academy at Garhwa, Jharkhand, which Mr. R.K. Sinha has set up in 1970s. It is still one of the best training academy any private sector security agency is having today in the country. The kind of facility at that time this training center was having, I think only at that time military training academy used to have that kind of facilities. And that has proved very critical for the success of SIS, because it not only generated lakhs of trained security guards, but year after year it has done a very important course, GTO course in Garhwa, which has delivered lots of training managers, which ultimately joined the company, and they have been the backbone in the growth of the company. Mr. Linka has already said he is also part of that GTO program, and there are many Mr. Linka in the company. Many of them are sitting in this room also, who is holding a very important position. So that is the importance of training, our founder chairman always think about, and that is what has been covered in the books. Now coming to technology, SIS is believed to take an advanced step in taking all the initiative in implementing different training tools. Always, when computer came in the market, our founder chairman, Mr. R.K. Sinha, has ensured that SIS will be the first of the company amongst its competitor or peers to start using computers. And under the leadership of our group managing director, Mr. Rituraj Kishore Sinha, there has been complete digital transformation in technology. He was always believing in the fact that if we are trying to grow, we will need the help of technology to manage our scale, and that has been proved correct over a period of time. He personally involved in developing many of the in-house training tools which we are using on day-to-day operational working. We talk about IOPS, we talk about SalesMax, we talk about ARC, MySIS. Even in facility management, we always try to implement a new technology to serve the customer. And it's not that we are only trying to use technology for our internal use. We also realized very early that the trend which is changing in the market, which is moving from physical man guarding to technology. And keeping that in mind, we have set up two technology-based companies, Tech SIS and SIS Alarm. It is quite interesting that there was a time, not very long, 10, 15 years before, when all bank ATMs used to have physical guard, and gradually they have moved to electronic surveillance. And today, SIS Alarm is having the largest share of business in electronic surveillance with those by handling those bank ATMs. So this is how the technology and training has helped in SIS, apart from all the valuable contribution which has been given by all the SIS team member. This has always been has been in our DNA to ensure that whenever a guard or janitor joins, it is our policy that he should be trained first, then deploy next. And that has really helped us for reaching the SIS in the stage where we are right now.
Thank you, sir. That was quite detailed and informative for all of us. Next, I move to Narayan Lenka, sir. Sir, SIS is one of the few organizations in India that has never required to have a labor union. That's quite unique. How did SIS achieve that?
You all will be agree with me, like in the profession where we are, we deal with people, and 100% people-oriented company we are, and there is always a possibility of union. We can deny it because that is a human need, and the intent of human is to be. But if you see SIS at a large, the Dr. R.K. Sinha himself says, if you take care of your people, they will take care of your business. And that speaks in a large in volume, and you can understand what his intent is. Our HR policies are just made in such a way, and we are very transparent with people with open communication. And the janitor, a guard, or a chaos queue member can directly reach to GMD or chairman anytime, or even the group CEO time. And we have a public platform where address the JRC system, like grievance and redressal system, where they can get a token. And the kind of openness, like in security particularly, like the Darbar, when the people go in front of the guards and speak from their heart, it itself, you can say, finish most of the problem, because you are talking to the people from your heart and you know there is a problem. That itself shows a lot of courage from the company, and we never hide anything from the people. In due course of this journey, there are a lot of trouble, and we have faced sometimes tough situation, and the people who are there in the leadership, they manage it quite effectively. The kind of HR policies, welfare policies we have implemented later on when the company progressed with the system and processes. And if you see later on the testimony of this, like COVID time, even our customer who help us to retain our people in their premises by providing or extending the extra facilities. Same time, as an organization, we also tried our best creating a Hamara Hero Welfare Fund and taking care of their extended families, taking care of their needs and the customer needs. And that is the kind, when you do openly and don't hide things from your employees, they have strong belief and view. And that leads, there is no union. If you see a country like place, Calcutta, Cochin, Bombay, where there is the strong feeling of regional biased, or you can say worker union. I never say that other part of the country is not happen, but these particular places also SIS quite effectively managed, and time and again proven also to the customer as well as to the industry that SIS is a company where the people has taken care with utmost care, and that what leads today that even we are more than 3 lakh people and different kind of acquisition merger, then also we don't have a single union in the company. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I go back to Sanjeev. Sir, the book covers many defining moments. And since you have read the book and you have been in Bangalore for quite long, are there any incident linked to Bangalore that come to your mind from the book?
Yeah, I think, I personally could not witness that, but when I went through the book, there was an incident, way back when SIS was just entering into the Bangalore market, or rather I would say the southern market, so it was more of a kind of a North Indian based or a Bihar based company, and culturally there is a huge amount of gap. And you have team which is coming from Bihar or which is coming from up north and trying to, take up sites or accounts in Bangalore. So there is a big cultural gap. And what comes very impressive in the book is about one Mr. Oja actually. I mean, that's way back. I would say that could be around 20, 25 years back, where, SIS entered it through the Bellary market when mining was at peak actually. And mining means what actually? It is synonym to a lot of syndicates, lot of what you say, out of the way kind of working so there. And in that, so there's a lot of mafia, I would say that, my personal reading from that, which goes beyond interpretation in the book, actually, there's a huge amount of mafia when mining takes a big boom. And that time when there was a local group which was armed and they were trying to, what we say, dethrone or destabilize SIS over there from their commitments to the customers. So Oja comes in over there. Mr. Oja, he takes complete personal charge over there. So there are instances where, in the book you will see, or in the journey of 50 years of SIS, you will see a lot. And in the book itself, it mentions that how you build that confidence that an outsider company, which is not native to Karnataka, can actually take care of, clients from Karnataka. So that was the first step which actually built the confidence for the customers. And then it grew up, and actually I would say that, then under the leadership of Mr. Uday Singh, we had SMC, which was actually incubated over here in Bangalore, and then followed by DTSS actually, which joined the journey in 2016. So there was a lot of what you say, Bangalore like a city which is very supposed to be a tech hub or something like that. So journey of SIS starts when it was not a tech hub. And then over a period of time, it starts adopting, creating innovations, doing a lot of supports, getting assimilated into the culture of, South Indian as well as Karnataka, and has grown significantly. And I think now the market share could be immense in the Bangalore market. And this is only possible because, I would say that, in Bangalore, it comes with innovation, it comes with technology. Rajiji has spoken about the training needs and technology which is there. That's how the growth has happened in Bangalore.
Thank you, sir. Now, before going to Bijayji for the last question, I will again come back to Narayalinka sir, and then would want some references from Sanjeev also. SIS has played a crucial role during COVID pandemic. Can you please share your experiences, because you guys were on the field all the time?
See, apart from the book and in real life, as Uday Singh sir was saying, during the COVID time, the real testimony of a company and the credibility of a company in the market. Honestly, मुझे आज बोलने में गर्व भी होता है कि जब कोविड आया 2019-20 के आसपास, एंड हम जितने लोग हैं, कोई डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली सब उसके साथ सफ़र हुए होंगे, एंड आपकी सब मेमोरी होगा. बट द मेमोरी व्हाट वी एंजॉयड और लिव्ड, इट इज़ कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट. जब लोग सब घर में बंद थे, तो वी आर द गाय हु आर एंजॉइंग ऑफिस ऑन द रोड. This happened due to the, you can say, visionary leadership of SIS. Because जब लोग घर में बंद होना शुरू हो रहे थे, तो visionary leadership take a step forward, and we do have a Zoom call, Microsoft call, team call, whatever the call possible in India, we have set up, and we have a clear agenda what we supposed to do in due course of time. That encourages also and the ground team to accompany us all the time to office. जब vision correct है, leadership को पता है क्या करना है, तो फिर काम करना बहुत आसान हो जाता है नीचे लोगों के लिए. तो उस सिलसिले में मैं पहले क्रेडिट तो जीएमडी सर को दूंगा, जो उन्होंने टायरलेसली एफर्ट किए, बिकॉज दिस इज़ नॉट एसेंशियल सर्विसेज, चाहे वो जेनिटर हो, गार्ड हो, क्रैश क्रू मेंबर्स हो, अदर टीम मेंबर्स हो. उनको पहले जाने के लिए रोड में बहुत तकलीफ होता था, पुलिस हर जगह उनको रोकते थे. देन ही वेंट टू द होम मिनिस्टर एंड डिफरेंट स्टेट and create a scenario that all the people who are there, whether it is SIS or the industry at a large, to be the essential service provider. When that started, then we have get a freedom to work in the road as well as to the people. हम hospital में रहते हैं, hotel में हैं, logistic में हैं. These three important and these four important aspects which influence the life of an individual or a people in the society. And जब ये हमको ये सुविधा मिल गया, देन हमारे पीपल के से भी विश्वास होने लगा कि कंपनी ने हमारे लिए कुछ कर रहा है. दे ऑल्सो स्टिक एट देयर ओन प्लेसेस. सेम टाइम कस्टमर ऑल्सो एक्सटेंड देयर सर्विसेज टू ऑल्सो लाइक प्रोवाइडिंग बैरक इनसाइड द प्रीमाइसेस एंड फूडिंग ऑल्सो. And there is a law was there, but the most of the customer who are present in the room, I can request all of you to give a round of applause to them. They extended the salary to the guards. So that the guard also who are there in Bihar, UP or each part of the country or different part of the country, they also enjoyed their salary even though they are not present. It's not the compulsion, because the greatness of the people who are associated with the organization. एंड इस सिलसिले में जब हम आगे बढ़ने लगे तो हमारे पास बहुत सारी चीज़ें देखा गया कि गार्ड का फैमिली में उनकी परिवार के साथ साथ उनको भी तकलीफ होने लगा, बिकॉज इट्स गोइंग फॉर ए लॉन्ग टाइम व्हिच वी नेवर एक्सपेक्टेड इट हैज़ टू बी हैपन, बट अनफॉर्चुनेट एंड इट वाज सो अनप्रेसिडेंटेड। तो इसको मैप करने के लिए हमारे कंपनी ने, चेयरमैन साहब ने एक फंड शुरू किया, हमारा हीरो फंड, वेलफेयर फंड, जहाँ पे हमने 10 करोड़ की फंड रखे थे उनके एम्प्लॉइज़ और एम्प्लॉइज़ के परिवार के लिए। इवन वो भी ड्यू कोर्स ऑफ टाइम में वी कंज्यूम दैट, then we keep an additional fund for that, and hopefully, and the grace of God, this COVID period went well. But what we learn, and when you go to present to a customer nowadays, and the customer says, what is your BCP plan? Business continuity plan आपका क्या है? I say always, sir, that this is the best testimony of SIS in the time of unprecedented COVID, what we demonstrated in the market. That is one of the best example of BCP, business continuity plan. इससे बड़ा BCP plan आपको क्या चाहिए? But yes, of course, we stay in a diversified country, different territory, different language, different culture, and that's why the BCP plan is required as a business. But definitely, if you seek in COVID time, the kind of operation and wide length of services we give to the customer, example like हमारे कैश वैन कस्टमर की लैपटॉप लेके कस्टमर की एम्प्लॉइज़ की घर में दिए, इन्वेंटरी मेंटेन किए, and collected that laptop once again and come back and equal the inventory also. These are not the simple statement when the wall is sitting in your home and your people on the road. That shows how SIS taken care of their people, and same time how the customer also cooperated with us. And it was a great learning as an organization during this time. That is the reason when we spread our companies, when there is a corporate annex, there is a headquarter, and there is a long list of branches across the country, look and corner of the country. We strongly believe in case of any such emergency come in future, we'll deal how we dealt with the COVID. And it was a very, you can say, like for me personally, it was a very challenging situation, not like that to sit inside the room and see the news, but coming on the road and helping to the your people as well as the people who are accountable for. Thank you, Sanjay.
Thanks.
During COVID, my first experience was, we have an office, DTS office on the round the corner of Vasant Nagar. So it was then when the lockdown was announced and I was coming to the office, actually, we were stopped by the police. So half an hour, 45 minutes we were there, and I just couldn't come to the office. But some here and there, we just gave some reasons, and after 1.5 hours, I was able to come to the office. Then the discussion, this is a personally felt discussion coming up, saying that, that if we are not able to come, how would a janitor come? How would a security guard come to the client's places? And like Lenkaji was mentioning about, the business continuity and all. And then I could see that, even to inspire our team, the whole back office team which was there, even they were in the lockdown mode actually. So the first challenge which the leadership took actually, which was for take care of your employees. Well, you mentioned about Hamari Hero Welfare Fund, but the thing came out, how do you change the mind? How do you bring inspiration or, that courageous step towards that? Like I mentioned about Mr. Oja taking a personal, a challenge and confronting the guard, the local mafia over there. Same thing came over here saying that how do we take those risks where everybody chose to stay at home? So I could see that, Mr. Rituraj himself actually, put a mask, put the glasses, and then, with all the PP, he's going to all various site locations and all these things. So this is what actually you see a leader, who is setting examples by taking the lead, It's not only sitting in the room and telling everybody to go over there. So this was a defining moment that saying that, that yes, we have to do it. And then the second question was that how do we facilitate this? As we said that, through liaising with the Ministry of Home Affairs, we were able to recognize facility management, security and cash logistics as essential services. Now, what's the most important point over here is that this essential service recognition did not happen only for SIS actually. It happened for the complete all different business groups or different business companies actually. So what did the chairman, Dr. R.K. Sinha and Mr. Rituraj actually set the example was saying that it's not only about your company, we need to look towards national continuity. So it was not business continuity which came over there at that point of time. It was saying that, how do we ensure that the nation continues to keep performing, keep working over there. So this is just going beyond the business. So I think, what, the SIS story, the foundation laid by Dr. R.K. Sinha is not much beyond the business. It is talking about, giving a social impact in terms of feeding 3 lakh people and much beyond that, then talking about business continuity, then talking about, creating regulations and giving dignity, putting frameworks and everything. So I think, the story just doesn't stop, that 5 minutes or 10 minutes of talk we probably would not do. If anybody who has not read the book, actually it's a moment for them to read that book and actually, get inspired with that. So I think, there's a lot of drawdowns, I would say, during COVID. It's one simple thing that while we are conducting business, keeping clients, employees, and all the stakeholders, it is the nation's contribution what needs to be first over there.
Thank you, Narayalinga sir and Sanjeev, for the detailed reflection. Now, I come to the last question of this chat, which is to Brijesh sir. Sir, what message would you want every reader to take from this book?
The message, I think, which this book tries to convey is that don't take SIS just as a company. It's a family which believes in discipline, integrity, and service before self. Every janitor, every guard, every managers who are working in SIS, they have their own story. And the compilation of all those stories, what is there in the SIS story. I would request our customer also to take time from the busy schedule and go through this book, as they will be able to relate themselves with the value in the service we deliver. This book doesn't only talk about the achievement, what has been there for SIS over a period of time. It also talks about the challenges we have faced, the courageous decision we have made in past. Who would have thought that SIS, being a small company of India, will go over abroad and try to acquire a company in Australia, which was 10 times bigger than SIS at that time. But it has done, the decision was being made, and this has been done. I'm mentioning this intentionally because the core team who has made it happen is sitting in this room. Uday sir, Mr. Devesh Desai, Mr. Murli Krishna, Mr. Chandni for ENI. But I think that today also, they must be also thinking that how does this happen? So there are many such instances, and this is not the end. We firmly believe that there are many milestones we have yet to achieve, and we will achieve. Today we are talking about the SIS story, the book. I'm sure after a few years, somebody else will be talking about the SIS story, part 2, part 3, and so on. So let's see. Thank you.
On behalf of everyone in the room,
What Rajesh sir said, the larger responsibility is now when you have become big company and the system processes are there. The larger responsibility, as I said, lies with us to manage the emotions, us take this family culture along with that. It should not be diluted in the period of the time when you were growing. People thought, and there is always happened that the family culture, like what is the founder's mentality, people-centric, you can say customer advocacy, whatever there, it should not be diluted. And it is our responsibility to go forward with the vision, and another 15, 20 years with the growth, the family culture should be intact, and that will be great tribute to this book. Thank you very much.
request everyone to please join me in giving a round of applause to Brijesh sir, Narayalinga sir, and Sanjeev sir for the candid reflection about the SIS story. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We have heard from the people who have lived this story. Now let's hear the few lines from the book itself. We have selected a few passages from the book, one which is about the customer and the other is about the employee who are at the heart of the SIS. And for the same, I would request Brigadier Jayaraman Nembar and Major General Rajat Mathur sir to please come on the stage and please read those excerpts for us.
Thank you, Ishan.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a momentous occasion this is. A journey of glorious 50 years. I mean, we started the celebration sometime last year, and in a short time frame, you could see the entire journey captured in this very book. It's your journey, my journey, rather our journey. You've seen the testimonials, please read it. It's a must read. See, every organization has its highs and lows, and SIS has been no exception. SIS had its fair share of highs and lows, but somehow it stayed ahead of the bell curve and made itself relevant. How did it do it? One simple word, change. There's an old saying, change is the spice of life. So that change actually changed it. SIS broke all barriers. There have been companies in the past, because they refused to adapt to the changes, so they became irrelevant. And they ceased to exist. To quote some, like Calvinator, you've seen Nokia phones, BlackBerry, HMT watches, Ambassador's cars, etc., etc. They are no longer there because they didn't adopt the change. So what is that different, what SIS has done? Among the many changes, one aspect was technology, which made it stay ahead of the curve. I mean, SIS spent about a decade, planning, preparing, and executing these revolutionary ideas, creative ideas in the security industry to simplify its own operations, streamline internal processes, and while achieving, higher customer satisfaction. Imagine a mobile phone with that technology in the hands of a common guard. Incredible. To move forward, I'll just read out a few excerpts from the book concerning the subject. In a fast-changing technological landscape with evolving customers' demand, one has two choices. Cannibalize yourself to meet customer expectations, or allow customer to find someone else to replace you. You have to work with the principle, what's good for the customer will be good for business in the long term, says Rituraj. Another one is merger and acquisition. It speaks about, under the umbrella of one SIS, the client gets services related to housekeeping, cash logistics, and security. One SIS offers the convenience of having one person to talk to rather than four. That's the order of the day. Bringing in convergence rather than four different companies approaching one client, the needs are the same, end-to-end service, which under one umbrella it can be fulfilled. These customers want security, facility management, and also control pests in the premises. All these services routed through one entity. This is a concept which is built to address multiple things. But firstly, to ensure customer concerns are addressed. That is one part. The second is to explore the cross-sell opportunity between various businesses. Third, it is a platform for all businesses to come together. And lastly, SIS Group business have pivoted as customer requirements evolved and staying ahead of the curve by using technology as the accelerator. Thank you. I'll now hand over to General Mathur.
Thank you, Jay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting here and just listening before this to the narration of the personal experiences as well as the ideas that unfolded throughout this 50 years journey of SIS, one was fascinated. And obviously one got motivated more and more to read the book. Sitting there, I was glancing through the pages and obviously seeing the passages that I would have to come up here and read. So two things struck me, which I want to convey here. Nothing very complicated. First, the font of this book is very big and very easy to read. So all of us will be able to read it, even people who have elderly eyesight problems. Secondly, the book has been written in very simple, nice English in a conversational form. There is no Shashi Tharoor type English which one needs to be worried about. So I would just encourage everyone, please, when you get an opportunity, pick up the book and read through this, about this journey. Now, talking about any journey, we always say that, okay, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. You expect all kind of adversity, but then there is always something called a wild card. And for cricket buffs like me, it is something like a dusra, maybe a tisra also. So COVID was, probably much more than any of these combined. You could call it a wild card whammy, if I may say so. And you all heard just now the experiences, the difficulties, and the initiative that everyone took, starting from the top management down, to go through it. So I will just read out a few of the passages related to this journey. On the first day of the lockdown itself, Rituraj, our GMD, was at his Noida house and was on an online call with his top team. As he was listening to the discussion amongst his colleagues, Rituraj saw an unusually large amount of groceries being brought into his house by his staff. What is happening? He asked his wife, Pallavi. It's a lockdown. We need to stock up, she replied. Something struck our GMD. Immediately he went back to the meeting and said, guys, my wife has called in for 1 month's ration at home. Is this happening in your houses also? Most of the members of that conference answered in the affirmative. This disturbed Rituraj. He and his senior leadership, he realized, could afford to buy a month's worth of groceries and stock up in their house. How about our guards and janitors on the ground? They don't have enough money to buy ration and stock it for a month. He immediately told his team without any hesitation, we need to transfer an advance salary to everyone on our payroll tomorrow so that everyone can buy ration for their families. There was a discussion and someone said, but some of these people will leave us and go back to their native place. Should we as a company spend money, especially in a time like this? He replied, it doesn't matter. We will take a hit, but this has to be done. Rituraj was also worried about the welfare of SIS employees who could get infected. There was the whole affordability issue with the cost of testing and then the loss of pay during quarantine and the following recovery period. Those who were infected also needed access to things like oxygen cylinders, one of the most sought after commodity during the pandemic. To address these issues, and as per the advice of our chairman, Mr. R.K. Sinha, SIS set up Hamare Heroes Welfare Fund, which provided rupees 10,000 to every employee who got infected. I'll repeat that again. They provided rupees 10,000 to every employee who got infected. This fund proved to be a lifesaver. To make such financial assistance possible, Mr. R.K. Sinha had set up a rupees 10 crore Hamare Heroes Welfare Fund. We heard discussion about that. Medical insurance didn't cover COVID at that time. I mentioned COVID was a wild card. So this fund was a big help for employees and their families. Without the fund, many of them would have lost their lives. going further, the next thing that was important was vaccination. And while the whole country was gearing up for that, SIS was already at the front foot. As soon as the vaccines became available, SIS started the Hamare Heroes vaccination drive. SIS was amongst the first organizations in the country to launch a company-wide countrywide campaign to vaccinate its employees. In total, nearly 5.5 lakh doses were administered to SIS employees between the 2 doses that were needed by each person. You can imagine the scale of coordinating this across the entire country and in all the verticals of SIS. SIS as a team had survived a crisis that could have broken many others. They didn't just survive, in fact, they emerged stronger. To top it all, since the pandemic, SIS's place in the Great Place to Work rankings has only got better. It's consistently ranked among the top companies in the country across various categories: for women, as a mega employer, for nation builders, and for building a culture of innovation. In 2025, SIS was ranked 9th in the country for mainstream Great Place to Work category. So as I end this part of the reading, and being conscious of the fact that all of you present here were part of this team that navigated through the COVID time, please accept a big salute from my side and a big clap for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Executive Director Sirs, for doing this segment of the program. Thank you so much. Next, we move on. Now to do the closing reflections and vote of thanks, I would like to invite 2 of the senior management leaders, Devesh Desai, Group CFO, SIS, and Mr. Samsher Puri, CEO, Facility Management, SIS India, to do the closing remarks. You both can please have a seat on the stage and do the part, please. Please join me in welcoming them, please. Or maybe we'll go one after another. Samsher will do first, and then we'll invite Devesh to the stage to do his sharing his thoughts. Over to you, Samsher. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishant. This book actually marks the journey of an accidental entrepreneur, like it says in the cover of the book, to an institution builder who built an institution which, of course, we all are part of today. The chronicles of this, we've forgotten to actually thank Prince Matthew, who really captured this well. General Mathur did was very, you pointed out that the language was easy to understand. It's a great read for all of us who work within the organization, and of course, for all our customers as well, for a journey that started off as an accidental entrepreneur and finished. I mean, it's not finished as yet, but to build an institution. 50 years is not just a milestone. It's actually a mirror of every dream that has been dreamt, every risk that we have taken, and of all the people who have walked along together on this journey. As we close the celebration and the release of the book, we're reminded about the courage of the entrepreneur, Mr. R.K. Sinha, and our group chairman, chairman who dared to imagine, but as importantly about each and every one of the SIS employees in the family, whether it is a janitor or a guard or a branch manager or a training manager, or each of the people working on the ground, past and present, people who've contributed to building this organization and who currently are working in this organization, taking it forward on a daily basis, and who have stood by every challenge and change to put form to the dream that our chairman had dared to do. Throughout this book, I see a common thread of the values that were instilled very early on in the organization, and those values of trust, those values of outstanding service, those values of people centricity, of people focus, are completely resonating through the entire book here. And it's with a sense of institution building that the group chairman, Mr. R.K. Sinha, started the company and took the SIS family forward. And with his band of believers, you know, when you have a small group, you have a band of believers who just comes along with you. And the band of believers just started to build. And we've now been reposed, our band of believers, who we are right now, have been reposed with the faith of carrying this institution forward over the next 50 years. And of course, the institution will outlive most of us who are present in this room today. Ours is a business where our prime assets are not the plant and machinery, they're not the land or the IP that we have an IP that we have for our business and services. Our assets are our people, the SIS family here. And the book clearly celebrates our people with a huge sense of gratitude towards being believers in this great institution built by our chairman, Mr. R.K. Sinha, and the opportunities that will continue to present themselves in continue this institution building. And of course, our other assets are our customers who have reposed their faith and trust in us, and we are grateful to them in perpetuity here. Thank you so much, and I hand over to Devesh to do the rest of the closing.
Thank you, Shamsher. And Ishant, I would like to correct you. I'm not the group CFO. I'm a CFO on a sabbatical. So thank you for the opportunity, for inviting me here and allowing me to participate in this, though I was on a long leave. Institutions and companies like SIS actually don't get built overnight. They're built brick by brick, piece by piece. They're built from the ground up, and they're built and they can thrive and survive only if they stick to the core beliefs, the core values, and be grounded in them. Now, SIS has always been grounded in its core values. The foundation is its core values. It's entrepreneurship, it's integrity, it's trust, and it's always thrived on it, and it's built brick by brick from the ground up. From a one-person guard post in Patna to a pan-India operation, from a one-country operation to a multinational operation, from a one service of security to a multi-service portfolio. As an institution and a company, you can only survive and thrive if you constantly reinvent yourself and constantly transform yourself and stay ahead of the times. In today's age, it is not enough to stay in step with the times. You have to stay ahead of the times. And that is what has been one of the strengths of SIS. It's relentless innovation, relentless transformation, and going forward and trying to stay ahead of the times. Personally, I have been privileged to be a part of this journey over the last 16, 17 years, and I've witnessed a huge transformation in the way in what SIS was when I joined and what SIS is today. And I'm sure everyone in this room has seen bits and pieces of that journey, and like me, everyone is proud to have played a small role in what SIS is today and participating in what SIS is today. So the SIS story is actually not the story of one person, one individual. It's a story of all of us, all of our guards, our janitors, our cash crew, our managers, our customers, our stakeholders. And as an institution, it's the collective force of all internal and external factors which actually propel the institution and allow it to grow and thrive. I'm sure everyone looks forward to another 50 years, another half century, and many more half centuries to come. And I would like to say thank you to everyone connected with SIS for the belief in SIS and for the devotion and collective will in propelling SIS forward. And I would like to dedicate this book to actually all of us. It's not only for one person, it's to all of us. Thank you very much.
Now, this brings us to the closure of the program. Before we move forward for the dinner and the drinks, a round of applause for all our customers and guests who have taken time to join us today. And also a round of applause for all our Jawans, janitors, and cash crew members, and all of us who works at the branch, regional level, and the corporate level, because of whom, this day has become possible. The books for customer gifting are placed outside. It's been taken care by Jayashree ma'am. I would also request customers and the guests to please go and share their experiences around talking about the 50-year journey of SIS. Now we'll formally close the ceremony. Thank you all. You have been a great audience.